talk about cloning repository in the GitHub. You can clone it and work on it. Then AI can be
All
also
right.
used to summarize the people. That's what I remembered about the last class. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that. Welcome once again. For those that are just joining, we are just doing a quick summarization of what we did in our last class. And as you heard from Ifine, he talked about GitHub, which is what we covered in our last class. Talked about pulling from GitHub. Also, we learned about how you can pass context to your AI model just to make sure that you understand from previous project that you've worked on before. So with that being said, let's have someone else give us a quick summary again. So Favor, are you there? Favor, are you there?
Can anyone hear me? So
Yes,
in
we can hear
last
you.
week class we talked about Git, GitHub and the collaboration workflow. How we could integrate AI by using it to summarize say a past project. Um how we can use it to structure a past project and then the repository, how we can use it to write a better readme if the previous one was not properly written. And then we did a practical example using one of the projects you did
All
to
right.
restructure the readme, although it was already structured. But then we also learned about how to clone a repository
All
and
right.
the importance of some commands.
All right.
The importance of understanding documentation so you can follow the instructions step by step and also getting the exact result the owner of the repository got. So that was what we did.
All right. Thank you very much for that detailed explanation, Blessing. Um, so yeah, we basically talked about Git and GitHub in general. We talked about collaboration workflow. I showed you guys how to check the history of GitHub from your GitHub, how to see each commit that was made by the developer in a particular repo. All right. We also looked at how to pull from GitHub. We looked at how to use AI to summarize, just passing prompt to AI and tell it to um, summarize basic information off of that particular repository that you were put from GitHub. And we saw how AI really helped it. It broke everything into step by step for us. It also provided a detailed documentation. We also saw we can use a code base to actually take knowledge from that code base and try to integrate it to a new code base if we wanted to. Um, yeah, so I think those are just the basic things that we did. Also, if you have not watched that video or if you find any part confusing, you can always go back to watch that video. The link is going to be right here somewhere in the video if you're watching the recording. And yeah, with that being said, today I'm going to be building real UIs, right? We're going to be prompting. We're going to be going from prompting to polished components. And right here, we're going to actually do everything from scratch. All right. So I will show you some quality websites where you can get quality UIs form. And all you need to do is just take in the prompts and pass it to your agent or pass it to your coding editor, either it's Copilot, either it's Lovable, whatever one you are working with. We'll look at how we can just take in prompt from them and we'll pass it to our code based editor. All right. So I actually want to work on a project. I think I want to build like a portfolio for one of my brother, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that from scratch. And we're going to be doing it together. All right. I've not done any documentation yet. I've not done any prior project on that before. So we're going to build everything from scratch, and I'll show you how I'm going to be picking the UIs, and we're going to prompt AI for the MD file and all of that. So just make sure you pay attention because we're going to be working on a real world project right here. All right. Um, so with that being said, let's just get started. I'm going to go ahead to bring in a new chat for my Claude. I'm gonna bring this right here. All right, so we're going to be using Claude right here for the prompting, and we're also going to use some other website I'm going to also share with you. All right, sounds good. Um, so first, what are we going to be working on? Let me just tell you a story. I have a brother. Um, Obviously, his name is also Ademola Victor. You can just search for him online. Ademola Victor. Uh, this my brother is a sports journalist and also a PhD holder. And he has been disturbing me since like for the past week right now that he needs a landing page for his brand. Just a landing page that talks more about him. So he has won TikTok award and he covers sports and all of that. All right. So this is something that we're going to be working on, a real life project. Um, of recently also he just got admitted as like a professor in the University of Lagos State, University of Lagos, popular Unilag. So he has been disturbing me to help him with a website. So we're going to be building that from scratch together. All right. So you would see how I'm going to take his project from basics to from ideation to production, all using prompting. And I want you guys to pay attention very well. And I know the reason why I'm actually doing this with you guys, so that you see um how easy, not that easy, but like how easy it is to actually like build a landing page and also take UIs from prompting and use it to generate your section. All right. So I'm just gonna do, you can actually look out more of him again if you want to. But let's go ahead to start prompting our model first, right? So we're gonna use Claude. By the way, I really recommend Claude because Claude actually, so let me see if I can bring this on. All right, come on. Just give me one sec. All right. So you're going to see how we're going to take this prompting from ideation to production. All right. So first thing that we need to do is we're going to talk to Claude, right? You can actually use any model of your choice. If you're using a free tier version, obviously you will not see Opus 4.7 right here. But you can just take Sonet 4.6. It actually does a great work, but I'm going to be using the maximum here. That's 4.7. All right. So the best thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to actually create a project, right? And I'll say new projects. And I'll just name this project. I'll name it Ademola Victor um Ademola Victor portfolio. All right. So I will say it building a landing page to talk to display who Ademola Victor is. All right. Display about, let me just put about Ademola Victor, right? I'm going to create projects. So the reason why I'm creating projects, so are you guys following me? If you are following me, kindly give a thumbs up. I'm coming, let me stop sharing. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen. All right. If you are following me, kindly give a thumbs up so I can see you guys are with me. Okay, very good, very good. You guys are with me. So, do you guys understand what we're trying to build first before I continue? Give a thumbs up if you do understand. Okay, if you understand what we are trying to build, kindly give a thumbs up so I can know you guys are following me. Alrighty, we have some thumbs up right there. All right. Oh, favor, give a thumbs down. So basically, what I already explained, if you joined late, I said we are trying to build a simple landing page, right? I gave a real scenario. Instead of us using like a random project, I just want to like throw this particular real world project with you guys. So we want to build like a simple landing page. I have a brother, his name is Ademola Victor. He's a sports journalist and also a professor in UAG. And I want to build like a simple landing page for him. All right. And you can check him out. Just search for Ademola Victor. You see he's very popular on YouTube. He has over 140K of followers. On Facebook, he has like almost 300,000 followers also. He's, on TikTok, he have over 600K, and Instagram, I think over 60K, right? If I'm not mistaken. Very good. So we just want to build a landing page for him that talks about who he is and what he does. Favor, do you understand what we're trying to do now? So the important thing is you need to understand the problem statement. All right, Favor, thank you very much for confirming that. So the first thing is just that we're going to build, we created a project in Claude, So I really like to put whatever I'm doing into Claude into projects. That way, it just helps us to keep our files and folder and prompting, everything just helps to keep it more organized. And that's why I created a folder for this. All right, let me just go ahead to put this on DND. Sorry, I have a call coming in. Oof, okay, yeah, very good. So first thing first is we're going to tell it about what we want to do, right? So we say, and we can just start simple, right? We'll say I want that. Now don't forget I told you that whenever you want to build a project, right, it is always best for you to have a detailed MDX file, right? And I explained to you guys what MDX file is. It can be anything, right? And this is what you're going to take and you're going to pass it into your Claude code, right? So what it just means is you need to have a detailed documentation that covers what your project is about, right? So I'm going to tell Claude that I want a detailed MDX file, right? Or you can say you need a detailed MDX file. I want to build a landing page for Ademola Victor. I have a call coming in. So for Ademola Victor, you can give Claude and tell it who Ademola Victor is. You can tell it that he's like a public figure. And I'm just going to copy all of this from his Instagram, right? Ademola Victor, this and that. So you can tell him that you can look up him on the internet to know more about him. Now, if the person you're trying to build the portfolio for is not the internet, you obviously have to start typing all of this down one by one. All right. But since my brother is a public figure, I'm just going to go ahead to use all of this information. I will tell Claude to actually go ahead to search for him online. So I need his link tree, and very good. He has all of his social media handles right here listed. So what I can do is I can just take a screenshot of this and tell it, I'm going to copy the screenshots, right? And I'm just going to tell Claude, I will say I also attach all his social handles in an image, right? So what I need from you now is, I'll say one, give me one. I'll say I would like to use. Now, also, this is very important. If you do not know the particular stack to use, right, I would prefer you to ask Claude to tell you or recommend the stack that you can use for building your project. But since we're doing a very simple landing page, I'm building a very simple landing page, then we are going to be going with React, right? React and Next.js. All right. And I'm going to just tell Claude that I want to use Next.js. We might not really need TypeScript, but we can also use TypeScript. We'll just say Next.js. Let's say TypeScript and maybe Tailwind for these projects, right? Um, Also some other libraries to improve the UI and UI visibility. Let's just put UI visibility and let's just say we also want to increase the like motion, right? That's one. So two is kindly kindly recommend the sections that would be needed for displaying his full portfolio, right? So let's just start by brainstorming first and let's see what Claude comes up with for us, right? So let's just give this to Claude and let's see what happens. So now it's saying it's going to research about Demola Victor, blah, blah, blah. So now you say he has a strong picture of who Ademola Victor is. Now, don't forget that if you do not know if you do not have an idea about the client that you're trying to be before, you need to actually give it a full detailed documentation. All right, so you can see that it's saying it has everything now. Picture of Dr. Ademola, his full name, which is correct, his credentials. Like I said before, he is a PhD holder, sport exercise physiology and University of Lagos. All right, so his roles. So let's see, someone is trying to join in. All right, very good. So you can see again, he's saying his roles, his major activity, um, coverage, audience, location, this and that. All right. So it's already creating an MDX folder for us. So let's just give Claude a minute and let's see what it comes up with. All right. So with that being said, as Claude is working on, I'm going to introduce you to some quality UI component that we're going to be working with. All right. And first one I'm going to be telling you guys about is what I call 21 firsts or 21st dev, right? Yes, 21st dev. So I've told you guys about this before. If you attended our previous class, I talked about this. You can go ahead to watch the video in our first class. I mentioned 21st dev for creating quality UIs. And trust me, some of this particular website out there, they use some of these components to integrate it to their sections. All right. So if you don't know about 21st dev, they are actually like an infrastructure and UI building blocks for the agentic internet, right? So it means for whatsoever, if you're a front-end developer mostly, and you want to build quality UIs, there are some React components that some people have actually built down, and you can actually take those components, take their prompts, and integrate it into your own section. All right. So that's just what 21st Dev is about. And you can actually check them. You can see the founder, shout out to him. To be honest, he has been really helpful. They're also backed up by Y Combinators. If you don't know who Y Combinators are, you can check them out. They are also backed up by Y Combinators. All right. So yeah, you can feel free to always check it out and also bookmark this if you want to. So now let's go back to Claude. So now Claude is saying he has done the research and everything, and he has given me a detailed MDX for the setup. All right, this is very correct. IUC and CAF accredited, right? Not just any sport journalist. I really like this. So let's just go ahead to look at what he gave us, right? So he said this and this description, author, ademolavictor.com, this and that, WhatsApp. Okay, very good. So it gave us the brand color. So the brand color is blue. I think I actually like this blue because it actually picked the idea from the link tree, and that's what I'm also going to be going with. So it gave us all of this landing page specification, this and that. Very good. So 3D OG image CMS analytics, JSON recommended package.json. This is an excerpt actually. So let's see what he gave us. He gave us Next, React, React TypeScript, Tailwind. Okay. Uh, Linux. Let's see. So let's just quickly research what this is about. What is right? Let's see what this is for. For smooth scroll. Okay, that works fine. So it's very important to actually review whatever your AI is giving you, right? We have G Sharp, which is for animation also. I've used G Sharp before very well. It did not add okay, frame motion is there actually. Framer motion is there. So we have this is for just for form validation. We have resend, which we are going to be using for the email. We have Vercel OG, which is going to be useful for our OG images. If you don't know what OG images are just open graph images that pops up whenever you share a link with someone. So you know that sometimes when you share a link on WhatsApp, you're going to have one image pop up, right? Those are what OG images are in a nutshell. We also have Next MDX remote. Let's just check what Next MDX remote is. So we see it's a load render MDX content. Okay, Markdown plus JSX. Okay, very good. We also have CLSX. Let's just check this also. CLSX. Last name string position. Okay, okay, okay. Like null, false. Okay, this works fine. and Tailwind Merge and class. Okay, very good. Okay, so now let's just tell it good. I have reviewed the MDX file and I like it, right? So I think the rest is just the speaking and teaching what he has done before and all of that. Page architecture, Next.js app router, all of that and this and that. So SEO, I think it actually did pretty much well. Content checking before launch, portrait hero, this and that, to testimonial branding and all of that. Okay, very good. So I will tell you this, I have reviewed the MDX file and I like it. I want to scaffold the projects and start building the section one by one. And you give me a detailed MDX file to pass to my agents to scaffold projects for me. All right. So I hope you guys are following. If you are following me, kindly give a thumbs up, please, so I can know you guys are with me. Oh, my screen is on. Let me just. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure that I'm recording and I'm not missing any. Okay, so if you guys are following, just give me a thumbs up so I can know you guys are following me. Very good. So we just tell it to update the MDX file for us, so we can just pass it to an agent and all of that. All right. That's basically what we just did right here. So why that's also working, I'm just going to go back to the 21st dev. So let me just talk to you guys more about what 21st dev basically is. All right. Sorry, give me one sec. All right. So for those of you that don't know what 21st dev is, sorry. So basically, these are like templates that you can actually just go ahead to pick, right? And you can use them in different components. So for example, let's say you want to build like a hero session. If you're a front-end developer, you should know what hero sessions are, right? You can just come to this and go to heroes, and you will see different and quality hero section that you can use for your projects. All right. So anyone you like, you can just scroll through this. And if you over on it, you will see how the effect is, you see how everything is. So for example, let's take a look at this one that is built by this interactive image accordion. All right. So I'm just going to click on open. And once I open, you would see that we have this. That when we over on this, it's going to open the section. All right. So let me just go ahead to get it to be smaller. So you can see that when we over on this, all right, you can see we have the session come up. So if you want to use this, all you need to do is just to come here. Instead of you copying code, you can actually copy prompts. And here it's going to ask if you want to use Bolt, if you want to use Lovable, if you want to use Claude Code, if you want to use Replit or VO by Vercel. All you need to do is, if you want to add additional context, you can do that, but it's not compulsory. You just need to copy the prompts and pass it to your agents. And I'm going to show you how to do this step by step as we go along with this particular project. All right. So you can see I will create a detailed scaffolding spec MTX file. So let's see scaffold. Let's see. Very good. So he's saying key design decision baked in route group, tailwind 4, context living, this and that. That works fine. So he said one thing to double check before running it. PNPM creates next app, flag use, double blah, blah, blah. If your agent uses an older creates next app version, it may not recognize double back. So Hero, Trust Bar, platform grid, so that and that. Okay, very good. Phase 2 sections, the quit internationally early because it's the highest value piece of let's go. Okay, so you know what I'm going to tell it. I want to use Bone. I don't want to use PNPM actually. I prefer using Bone because Bone is faster. All right. and just create the section down. I would refine them one after other once the setup is complete. Okay, so we're going to update to Bond because if you don't know what Bond is again, Bond is just like npm. So Bond, if you don't know what Bond is, sorry, Bond. Um, let's go. So you can search for Bond. So if you don't know what Bond is just like npm actually, and it's actually way more faster, right? This is what I'm looking for. Let me see. Let me just get Bond package. All right, so Bond install. This is the official documentation. Yeah, you can install it if you want to install it. Let me just go ahead to send the link to you guys. By the way, I'm going to attach all the link again to the description. So for those that are watching the recording, you'll be able to just click on the link in the description below and access it. All right, so let's see what Claude is saying. All right, so you say got it. Very good. So once it comes up with this, we'll just go ahead to start with the React project. All right. So while that's actually running, let's go ahead to bring up our VS Code. So I'm gonna say file new window. I'm gonna bring up my VS Code right here, so you guys can see what I'm trying to do. So yep, VS Code, and I'm gonna open my terminal, Control tilde. Just click on terminal, the terminal. All right. And once you click on new terminal, I'm just going to clear this chat, right? And I'm going to say, I'm going to first list where I'm on. I'm going to go to my documents. I'm going to go to my website. I'm going to clear. So this is where I'm going to create the portfolio website, all right? So while this is scaffolding, let me just go ahead to create the project, and I will say MK. Somebody is trying to join. Let me see who's trying to join. All right, welcome Mohammed. So I'm just gonna say mkdir, which stands for make directory, and I'll call it Victor Ademola portfolio. I'll just put it as port right here. So I'll say cd Victor Ademola portfolio, clear, and I'll say code space dot to just open the code base in VS Code. All right. So I'm going to close this one. We don't need this anymore. We now have the Victor Ademola spot opened right here. All right. And you can see how we're going step by step. All right. If you are confused on anything, or you don't know how to go about a particular part in the or you don't know how to go about a particular part, just ask your AI to assist you with that. All right. You will be actually good to go. It's going to tell you what to do. It's going to tell you the steps you need to take and all of that. All right. So now let's go back. So this is still running actually. So once this is done, we'll just go ahead to, okay, it's in 7 right now. So once this is done, we'll just go ahead to download the MDX format. We'll pass it to AI to start scaffolding the project while I talk to you guys more about 21st Dev. And I'm going to tell you guys about more other UI components that you can use aside from 21st Dev. So let's just wait while that is wiring up. By the way, if you guys are following me, kindly give a thumbs up. All right, sweet, sweet. All right, so I've talked about Bone install. If you are, so by the way, let me ask you guys, who uses Bone right here? Let me see. Just drop it in the chat. What package manager? Someone said if I'm sharing my screen is frozen. Can you guys still see my screen, please? Can you give a thumbs up if you can see my screen? I'm currently in the Bone. You guys can see my screen. Favor says you can see my screen actually, so maybe it might be from Blessing. Blessing, can you see my screen right now? I just reshared again. I'm currently in 21st Dev, so you can just like, okay, Blessing said yes. All right, very good. So since you can see my screen right now, so let me know, drop it in the chat. Who among us uses PM, NPM, PMPM, Bond? Which package manager do you use? Let me drop it in the chat. Let me see. Which package manager do you make use of? Drop it in the chat. Let me see. NPM. All right, we have NPM popping up right here in the chat. All right. Most of us, Favor said NPM, Blessing said NPM. All right, that's fine. That's fine, no issues. But by the way, you can still use that. It's going to work. But I just love using Bond because it's always faster. All right. So let's see if um, Claude is done. Still working on it. So currently is at the end of the scaffolding spec. So let's just wait for it to finish up. All right. So yeah. So that's that about 21st Dev. There are also some other quality UI components that you can make use of. So we have Magic UI. By the way, if you know any particular component that you make use of, just drop it in the chat. Let's review it together right here. If you have used any other quality UI components, right? We also have Magic UI. Magic UI is also a great platform. They provide you with quality UI libraries that are designed for engineer, right? So if you go ahead to just click on browse components, you would see different components that they have. You see, we have Team Douglas, we have Backlight, we have Aura Text, we have Android, and all of that. If we just go ahead to click on, for example, let's see, let's say we want to work on a border beam. You know what border beams are? This stuff right here. All you need to do is just look at the code, copy it, and you can pass it to your AI to actually do that for you. You can open a video also, but they are not that vast as how 21st Dev gives UI components. All right. You can see Spring animation. If you want to copy the code, just copy the code. Developers don't spend time doing all of this one by one again, all right? You just go ahead to copy the code and you can fine tune it from there, if that makes sense to you guys, all right? If you want to work on, for example, a magic card, you can see this one when you over on this, um, shows that you can see this one also when you over nice UI. If you want to work on a bento grid, or this you can, and I'm sure you guys have seen all of this bento grid before, right? You can see all of this. Um, they are actually very cool. I actually like this one. I really like this one. So you can see that we also have, if you want to work on a hero video dialogue, wow, really nice. You see, just play it and it pops up. Play it and it pops up a video. We have another one right here. Okay, we have one right here too. So you can just try out and check out Magic UI. We also have another one, which is Satanity. I hope I got the spelling right. Very good. Satanity, yes, this is the spelling. You can also like check out Swift landing UI pages. They are actually they're actually free components for free users actually. So you can see all of this, and people are actually using all of these particular UI libraries all over the world. All right, very good. You can see the best components you will ever find. I really love how they portray their products. Also, if you guys don't know, you should have heard of Shatcn before. Um, Shatcn also provide quality components, right? And don't worry, all of this URL, I'm going to actually go ahead to share it with you guys at the description of the video. So do not worry about that. So if you want to use like all of these search components, all these particular components, comments components, dates, picker, all of that, you don't need to create boring UIs anymore. We are now in the 21st century, right? You can go ahead to check out Shati and also Material UI. They also have an amazing component. All right, so let's check if this is done. Very good. So now this is done. Let's just go ahead to download this. All right, so we've downloaded that. What I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to bring in those stuff that we downloaded right there. So our downloads, I'm just going to pick it and I'm going to drop it in our VS Code. All right, so right here, I will just drop this in our VS Code. Let's see here. Let's see if I can drag and drop right here. Very good. So you can see that this is the the MDX file that Claude gave us. If you want to preview it, we can preview it. Let me see. Let me see if I can actually use my preview editor. So I'll do Command Shift P and I'll do preview. Okay, so I know why. So sometimes it actually acts up. So what we'll do is we'll rename this to MD file. And if you rename it to empty file, it will be able to preview actually. All right, very good. So you can see. So this and that. So it has the HN, which is a data file. The spec for that is fully wired up. So everything that I actually did already, this is what we have. So we're going to create the npm for the latest Fadimola Victor, then install dependencies, context SEO. We're going to use Parcel. Project theory, we're going to use, this is the structure, right? We have the public, then we have the images, right? We're going to have the portraits, the coverage image, we're going to have the press images and all of that. So we're going to have the OG images. You know, I told you what OG images are, right? Yeah, like those open graph images. We're going to have the icons, right? And SRC is not going to contain the site layout, the API, which is going to be like the contact. We're going to use Recent for that, like I mentioned earlier on. By the way, if you don't know about all of this before and you are just prompting your AI, you would actually go more, you're going to, your steps are going to be like a lot more because you would have to be asking, what is this for? But because I already have an idea about some of this, that's why it's not as long as it's supposed to. Like, it's not going to take me much time, right? Like that, all right? I hope you guys understand what I was trying to say. So we also have the component, the UI. You can see we have Chati, primitives, and all of that. So you can see that the reason why I like this is because it broke it down into different phases, right? Phase one, phase two, and all of that. So you will see that as we are prompting our AI, we'll be able to tell the AI continue with this phase, continue with this other phase, and all of that. All right. So let's just continue. ENV examples, not committed, ensuring ENV is local, ignored, and it goes ahead to agent action and all of that. Okay, very good. So now you have to phase four, configurations file, tailwind, and all of that. This is actually going to take time working on this, but I really like it because it actually puts in all of the personal details that I actually wanted, right? Look at all the handles right here. Very good. So now we're just going to ask Claude, can you give me the prompt to pass to Claude code to start working on projects? I giving it the MDX file already. All right. So again, you guys can use whatever AI agent you want to use. You can use the copilots integrated into VS Code. Obviously, you have some nice model that you can use right here. You have IQ 4.5, Opus 4.6. You also have Claude 4.5, and other models also. So whatever one you find in your VS Code, please do make sure to use it if you don't have a pro subscription of Claude Code, because I'm going to be using Claude Code right here. And again, if you want to know how to install these other ones, like Blessing asked in our last class, just come to the extension right here. All right, just come to the extension right here. And what you need to do is just search for whatever AI agents we are looking for. Be it you're looking for, let's say you're looking for augments, code, augment coding before you can see this. It has over 700k downloads, right? You can use that if you are using for Gemini. If you are looking for Gemini, blessing. I hope you are here with me. Let me confirm that. Can you guys see my screen? Oh, you guys can't see my screen. Sorry about that. All right, we are back now. We are back now. We are back now. All right. Yeah, blessing. Are you following me? If you are following me, just give a thumbs up. Come in. Just give me 1 sec, please. I need to update this so I can. Okay, blessing. If you are following me, can you give a thumbs up, please, so I can know that you get out with me. All right, all right, all right. Very good. So sometimes our screen just gets frozen. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, I said earlier on, if you are looking for any coding editor, if you are looking for Gemini, just search for Gemini coding editor, coding assistant. You will see all of that. See it out over 3 million downloads. I don't know why it's having 2 stars, but mm, no issues. So yeah, any coding editor or coding agent you are looking for, see we have Claude Opus right here, right? But I prefer using the integrated IDE right here. So let's just continue with our work. So like we said, so it says this and that prompt. So you can see read the instruction rules, use bond for everything, start with phase 0 and proceed. So we're just going to copy this prompt. So from here, I have attached an MTX file and all of that. And we'll just pass it to Claude, right? And right here, before I start send the prompt, I'm just going to put at, I'm going to tag this MTX file. You know what? Let me just go ahead to rename this to MTX because I just love using MTX, right? You can use .md, that works fine also, but I just like using MDX, right? And I'm going to tag it right here. I'll say at MDX. So same prompt that Claude just gave us, and you can see that we're not stressing ourselves. So we're just going to tell it, read the MDX file, proceed to phase 0 and all of that, and execute phase in order. Do not improvise. Every command, style, path, and content is specific exactly. If you find yourself wanting to change it, blah, 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 stop and ask me first. All right. So you can see how detailed this prompt is. Then run the verification step at the end of each phase before moving to the next. If the verification fails, show me the error and wait. Do not attempt to auto fix. And this is very important because you need to understand what Claude is currently working on, what issue you're coming with, and how it's actually fixing that issue. Because you don't just vibe code, you need to also understand what you're trying to build. I hope that makes sense to you guys. All right. So phase 0, it talked about phase 0, this and that. Usebone talked about phase 5, interactiveness and all of that. And final deliverables runs at localhost 3000. Show is sticking up and all of that. And let's go ahead to pass this to Claude Go to start working for us. All right. This might take a while. So we just have to wait patiently. All right. So again, let me just see if I am not working on anything on localhost 3000. All right, very good. So by the way, let me just go ahead to, all right. So are you guys following me? Let me just confirm if you guys are following me. Does anyone have any questions so far before I continue? Any question? Do you have any question? Are you confused at any point? Are you confused at any point? Very good. So let's just look at what Claude is currently doing for us. So let's just accept this person in. Who wants to join? Okay, very good. So let's just say yes, allow Bond version and Git version for this project. All right. Very, very, very good. So while we continue to wait for Claude to continue working for us, let's just go ahead to talk more about the UIs that I was giving you example of, right? So I talked about Magic UI already. There's some pro ones actually. Um, and there's some ones that you can download for free. Like look at these portfolio ones now. It does not need a pro account for this, right? You can just go ahead to, or you can just go ahead to like copy the prompt and you'll be good to go. All right, so let's just go ahead to continue and see what Claude has for us. So you see allow Spawn to create app and all of that. Yes, we are going to do that for just this project. And you can see that as it's working actually, it has like a detailed instruction as accepting it, right? So allow born version, allow born and git version, and allow born create. So as we're accepting those particular ones, if you just click yes, it will just like continue. But if you click yes, allow for this project, then it will just go ahead and create the permissions. All right. And you can see, oh, right here, it's created a new folder called Ademola Victor. Well, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Because guess what? All we need to do right now is to open our terminal by using Control tilde. And once you open our terminal, we just click yes. Once you open our terminal, what we can do is next phase. What we can do is we can say cd. I will cd into Ademola. Or you know what? Let's know where are we? We are currently in Victor Sports. So we'll just say ls. You should have Claude, Ademola Victor, and all of that. We have Ademola Victor and Ademola Victor MBF. So we'll just say cd to Ademola, and we'll say Victor, yeah, CLEAR. And yes, allow. And right here, we can just say, okay, it's actually working. It's actually adding it for us. So let's just wait. So you can see as it's going on, it's adding our package.json. We have this dependency installed streamer motion. You can see it just installed streamer motion. So it has done phase 0, phase 1, it's now in phase 2. It's installing the dependencies for us. And once it's done with phase 2, you will see how it progresses and tell us that, okay, it's done with phase 2. Can it continue now with phase 3 and all of that? All right. I hope you guys are all following me. If you are following me, can you drop a yes in the chat, please, so I can know you guys are with me. All right. Thank you very much for that. Give a thumbs up if you are following me, please. Okay, okay. Nice. So phase 2 verification, born install and born run build. So now it's done with phase 2, right? So you can actually just come here and just say born run build, born dev. And you can see now it's ready in localhost 3000, right? So we don't need to waste our time. Like, normally before you create a project from scratch, you would need to actually start. My screen has stopped sharing again. All right, so born run dev, and what we need to do, all right, something is frozen. Let me see. All right, we are back. We are back. We are back. All right, so what we need to do now is we can go to localhost 3000 and localhost 3000, and you know what? Let me just open this in my Chrome. I really like using Chrome for debugging, right? So I can open this in my localhost 3000, and it's saying currently this site cannot be reached. Let's go back and check what the issue is. It should be going through actually. Maybe because it's still working, but let's just wait. Let's wait and let's see. Let's allow Claude to finish his work. Okay, yes, you can see not found. So it's actually working already. It's actually creating those phase. It's creating the phase 4, which is writing the configuration files. So let's just wait and see how that goes. All right. Please kindly confirm if you can see my screen from the chat. Okay, we have yes, blessing. Thank you for that confirmation. All right. So I think all right. So phase 5 is actually going on. Let's just phase 4 rather is actually going on. Let's just wait for it to complete. All right. SEO done. And you can actually go through all the files it's creating. You can see that it actually followed the detailed step that we asked for, right? The app, the API, just like how we reviewed in our cloud.mdx file, right? Everything is actually following it. The context, the hook, the JSON ID. Remember when I mentioned JSON ID, the alternate name, the spot description and title, sorry, job description and title also. It's actually following everything step by step. And that's why it's always encouraged you have a detailed MDX file. If not, you might just be going back and forth. So once you have a detailed MDX file, it's actually going to carry you along with everything it needs to do. And we can refresh this. We should like have an updated error or okay, let's see, we have component not found. Let's just wait for it to continue its tasks. So we have crutching, motion component and root layouts. Very good. This is still phase 4. So we can still come back to this, right? So yeah, again, let's just browse through some components that we're going to be using once AI is done with the scaffolding. All right. So look at this scroll and roll. Let's look at these together. Scroll and roll. Let's see what we have right here. Ooh, so this like scroll and review something kind of thing. All right. And you can see that if you want to use it actually, all you need to do is just to copy prompts, right? And it's so prompt is supposed to prompt you. Let me just open this in a full mode so you can see this very well. So once you open in a full mode, you should be able to copy the prompt right from here. Oh, we lost that. We lost that, guys. Let's go to Euros again. All right, so we'll click on it again. I will open it fully. All right, so you can see that once you want to use it, just click on copy prompt. And we're going to copy for Cloud Code. But I don't think I really like this for the Euro section. I don't think I would really want to use this for the Euro section. Let's just look for something simple. I want something very simple and clean. All right, so you can actually browse through so that you can refine whatsoever. Let's see how Claude has gone so far. So yes, so far so good. It's still working on those error sections. And let's see if we still have the same error being displayed. Okay, now we have a new error, which makes sense. This is Zod error, right? Let's just leave it to continue working. Obviously, when it's done working, then we're not going to run burn build again and make sure that everything works fine. So it's press, picking, research, features. So these are the sections that it's supposed to create. And you can see that it's just creating just a demo export component. And we have errors returning from our terminal, which is fine. So the hero section, the coverage section, newsletter. So you can see that it's just actually creating a demo component for this, right? Which is fine, and that's what we want. We want to actually build these UIs for ourselves by just prompting. All right. So let's continue going through our hero section. So apologies guys, this class might take a while. It's because I want to make sure we get as far as we can. So yep, let's see. Look for something very sleek and very interesting. Let me see. Mhm. Sometimes when you just have a lot of UIs, you might be confused on what to pick. But I think I would still usually go with something very simple and straightforward, right? Since this is a portfolio website, we want something very simple actually. Nothing crazy. I'm actually go with this and try to include 3 images of him in different locations. Maybe when he collected the sports, what's it called? The sports award on TikTok, maybe one in his PhD uniform, and maybe one in a random sports event. So I'm going to control click on this just to open it down. And let's still try to browse if we have any other nice. I like this grid pattern actually. I'm going to use this also. I like that grid pattern. We'll try to see if we can put it in the. Oh, look at this, guys. Really nice. All right. Let's see. All right. So yeah, we have this one also. This one is actually nice, but it's common. But let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. By the way, how is Claude going? It needs yes, open and let it see. Allow for that. Alrighty. Let's refresh. Hmm. This is actually not bad. Having a huge background of game, but I just feel this is a common Euro section. So I don't want to go with that. I like this big pattern actually. I might try to use that in the Euro section back. All right. Full stack developer. Something I might go for if it was my own portfolio. But I'm working on a sports portfolio, so I don't think that would be nice for that. Nice. By the way, once Claude is done setting it up, trust me, that's always the hard part of the project setup and all of that. But once you are done setting up, trust me, you'll be good to go. And you will see how fast we're going to proceed after we are done setting up the project. So let's see, where's Claude at now? It's currently at the phase 5. It's initializing the Chatien UI. Let's see if the error has been fixed. Let's just reload this. If not, we'll come back to this. Let's Claude just finish what it's doing for now. All right. So I think for the Euro section, we should be good to go with that. Maybe again, if we find something better or something more. This is also really nice. This can show him in different events. So I'm going to also open this down in a browser. Well, enough of that. So let's go back to our code base. So now it's asking me questions. It said it uses template presets. Oh, the newest Chatien, right? Recommendation is optional 20 the release result. Okay. You know what? Let's go on with the recent Chatien. And that's why it's very important. You can see that it's actually asking me in case it comes up with something that is not in the particular prompt. Let me share my screen right here. My screen is always freezing. All right, so you can see it's asking us. So we'll just go ahead to tell you to proceed with option 2. All right. So while that is going on, let's look at our code base and see the structure again. I'm going to go to let me see, I'm going to go to the apps or index layout. Yeah, very good. So we have hero session, we have trust bar. All right. Let's what do you have in this trust bar? So I think it should just be like partners that it's trusted by. So let's see if we can find something relating to that. Let me see which components would really make sense for that. Let's see. But I think for this trust bar, progress should work. Let's see which one is going to work for this. Let's come back to this trust bar. This trust bar, I'm having mixed feelings on that, but we'll try to see what we can come up with for that trust bar. It should just be like a progress type of thing, or maybe a number count of how many places he has visited and his social media numbers and followers. Maybe that will work. Let me see. Numbers. What's going on in these numbers? We can actually use some of these also. No, not this exactly, but let me see. Or spinners loaders. Let me see. We'll actually come back to this particular trust bar, right? But about would be also nice. Let's see what we can use for about. Do we have an about component right here? If not, we can use something like images, or we can use something like, let's see. Could actually use images actually. Maybe a gallery session where it's going to be like, I think I actually like this. So let's continue for that. Let's see again. What other one again that we use? I think it's the about will be like him, something does brief about him, then images, because I would really like to show more images than text and all of that. I hope you guys are following me. So we can go with that for about. Nice images right here. But let's see again. Maybe we can even use some of this. This one is footers. This footers actually, we'll come back to that. Let's see what are features. What's going on right here in these features? Okay. Okay, this is something we can also use, but not really as. We can actually use something like this too, but for this part, it will just be to be like different sections of its categories. You know what? Let's just open that. See this one. So actually, like this design is actually very cool. Like this one I just opened right now. It can be about him, then his picture on different events, and I'll say why pick Ademola Victor or something like that, and also display some nice images. Actually, I like this one for about. You might go for this for about, right? Very good, very good, very good, very good. Claude, how are you going so far? It's still on chat CN. But that's why I say it might take a little bit of time to restart chat CN. So now it's going to replace the readme and come up with the final verdict. So we're just it just remain 3 faces left. All right. So let's watch that. So after about, we also need the coverage timeline. This is going to be quite tricky. For the coverage timeline, so obviously you know why we're using Shazam for those buttons and the likes. All right. Come back to this error that is showing right here. So coverage timeline. Let's see, what do we have in coverage timeline? I feel like session coverage, vertical timeline, AFCON, this and that. We also have platform grid. This is where we're going to display different platforms like social media handles, right? It's actually installing Radix UI too. So for that, Let's see what we can use. Let me see clients. Let's see what's going on right here. It's the testimonial section. Yes, it's testimonial section. Do we have that right here? Testimonial section. I think that's what we'll use for the featured work, or yeah, featured work actually, testimonial section. See, guys, I'm just trying to go here and there, and obviously, once you start fleshing this out, you will see how nice everything will come up together. What the user says, I actually like this one, and it's like over, like move on over. I think that's the word. Oh, it's actually auto scroll, and it does not pause when I over. Maybe you can use some UI to refine this, right? Are you guys following me? Are you guys tired? All right, sweet. So we might actually use this also for the hero sections. This is really nice. So let's proceed. Overlay monitor. All right, so let's proceed. Claude is actually still installing the ShadCN. Let's just wait for it to finish this. So once I show you guys how to use one, trust me, the rest is going to be straightforward. All right. All you need to know is just how to use those, how to take in those prompts from 21st Dev and plug it into the project you're working on. All right. So it is ShadCN is installed successfully. We're not getting any error right here again. Dialog input. So let's just try to refresh this our locals and let's see what it's giving us. Still the Zod error, which we're going to resolve later once we are done with this ShadCN. All right. Look at this picking one. All of this, I'm still going to put in like a detailed section for all of this. So not to worry about that. So now, component install, this and that. Born run build. So you can see it's saying born run build to just check if there's any error. I can actually do that from our end right here too. Once we just do this come up. Once we just run born run build from here, run, you can see that every section is checking and making sure that there is no error, right? So for you can see it already caught the result error. It's saying there's not these envs are not available, right? And I think that's the same error that we should be getting right here. The result error, which we're going to fix. So not to worry about that. So you can see remove the keys.env locally empty file. So let's just say we should just remove the keys from. Let's see, do we have that in our env? Env local, the keys are empty. Yes, yes. You know what? No, let's just remove the keys for now. So option one, go with option one. So for now, we'll remove the keys, and when we want to start integrating email sending and all of that, we're going to bring the keys back in. All right, so that we clear that error. And you can see that every phase, once it's done implementing, is trying to run run build to check to make sure that it's actually following the right process and there are no errors going on right here. All right, very good. So let's just go with this and let's just wait for our Claude Code to finish working. All right, so phase 5 is done. Now it's not going ahead to phase 6, which is now to just read the readme.md. And that readme.md is basically what we'll have when we initialize our next project. So it's just going to go ahead to Very good. It has actually done that for us already. You can see immediately it updated the README and put in the our stack and framework of everything that he is working on. So verifying the final commit. So now we can clear this and try to. So let me just make sure I'm for this thing is sharing because it needs to share. All right. So now what we can do is we can do burn run build again and make sure that there's no error. All right. So let's see. Okay, very good. You can see this actually runs successfully. Yes, option one. So these are just normal quotes and stuff that happens, right? We're just gonna tell you to go with option one for that. All right, so let's just go ahead to verify. We're going to try it. Okay, now we just refresh the local host, right? And you can see now that we now have each section about. Sorry, if you have a question, I'm coming. You're
So
gonna
the
ask a
screen,
question very soon.
the screen,
Oh,
the
my
screen
screen.
doesn't show anymore. Mm.
Okay, can you see my screen now? So we have this section now. You can see we have all of this section um figured out, right? So we have the hero section, we have the trust bar, about, coverage. What's going on in my screen? All right, we have all of that right here. Oh, my screen is freezing again. Sorry, guys. Let me just try to make sure this is sharing. All right. So now what we can now do is we can now start wiring out all of this hero section. Let me check the responsiveness. Might not really be the good state, but let's see. Okay, it hides the navigation items, but there's no like navbar right there. So we'll also fix that. And if you want to also do the navbar, we can go ahead to do the navbar right there. But now, first thing, let's just go ahead to wire out the hero section. So we already picked this one for the hero section. Where was it again? This one for the hero section, all right? So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead to say copy prompts and we'll copy for lovable for Claude Code, all right? Now, once we copy for Claude Code, we'll just go into our Claude Code. Let's just run build infinite. It's almost done actually because it's in the last phase. It's in the last phase already. So let's just wait for that. So after that, we'll just pass it the. So let me just paste this right here. I would say you're giving a task to create this React component code base for the hero section. So the hero section. So this wants to kill our terminal and try to restart the port server again. So I'm going to give it access to that. But while that is loading, let me see if I can bring out some images right here for my folder. So I'm just going to add it to the public folder because obviously Next.js, whatever one you're adding, you need to put it in the images folder, right? So I'm going to name this hero section and paste it right there. So I have some images of him in the hero section, which I'm going to pass it to Claude, right? So I'm going to say yes, hero section. I also have images in the public slash image slash hero. So you can pick images there. All right. So once it's done now and it wires up the hero section, trust me, it's now much more faster. It's now be much more faster if we start building this component. Trust me, the hardest part is always like scaffolding the project and making sure that you have everything right in place. Like currently, now that I have everything right in place, trust me, the only thing I'll be doing right now is just to be building the component on components and making sure that everything works fine. If you're working on a project before and you want to integrate this component, obviously it's actually very straightforward. So all you have to do is just to, since you have the project set up, you don't need to pass through all these steps I did at first, right? All you have to do is just to go ahead to take your UI component, take the prompt and pass it to your Cloud Code, and you'll be good to go. All right. So now let's go ahead to just edit the hero section first and see what Cloud Code comes up with that UI that we are giving it. All right. So let me go ahead to make sure I'm sharing the right screen again. It's not frozen. Very good. So now that we have passed it, so it has said, let me retry from the project dir, this and that, images, UI component. It's going to actually take in all of the UI component that we now actually pre-built and all of that. And it's going to try to integrate it with the new UI that we gave it. All right. So currently, if I run my server, born dev, right, it's currently running on localhost. You can see that our localhost right here is like this first, like this hero placeholder. So once it's done, you will see what it comes up with. I'm just going to shift it right here. And let's just wait for Claude to finish up the hero section that we gave it. All right. So once I'm done with the hero section, obviously you guys already understand the steps, and we will just call it a day from there. I hope you guys got to learn a lot today. All right. So to know before I proceed, it's asking me a question. Button, I will skip the user provided button code, the existing, or using Chatty and add batch instead of the pasted code. So yes, we can go with Chatty, and since that's what we actually like scaffold our project with, so that works fine. So that works fine actually. That is perfect. Perfecto. All right. So now let's just go ahead to write the hero sensor component with 3 images. Obviously, you know that we add 3 images right here, which is 1, 2, 3, and we'll have something about him and maybe a button, a call to action button like about and all of that. All right. Claude is going to come up with that. So now it's now going to our hero section. Obviously, if I put hero now, you will see that it has now structured it into hero block. And this hero block is where we are going to. Is this managing business? Okay. It's writing this exact content. But you can tell it to update later on to Ademola Victor spec or something like that. All right. But let's just wait for it to work finish. All right. So it's crafting. Obviously, this is now the code base that we took from this particular place, right? So let's just wait for it to work finish. Pretty much sure it's supposed to update this to fit our Ademola Victor. Yes, we're going to allow this to check for the error. Neural markers, this and that. Yes, clean up the dev server. So it actually wants to check for error. So it's going to stop this for now and continue with the dev server. So, very good. Very good. Now our server has stopped, but let's just go ahead to run this again. So if you run this again, what we can just tell Claude is update the content of the hero section to fit Ademola Victor. All right. So that we do not have this manage a small business out of that. So we just tell Cloud Code to update it to just fit Ademola Victor description. And I hope you guys are still following me. So once it's done, you should be able to see the updated content. We should not see this is the start of something again. And if you now see something like managing, we should not see all of this again, basically. We should see something more better. All right. Something more better. And now it is pulling from content bio. Let's see that. We have bio.ts, so it's actually pulling from this right now, and it's now updating the hero to pull from bio.ts from a simple truth. Basically, so anytime we want to update whatsoever, we will just come here and update this our bio. And now we can go back to our hero section, and if we go to this hero block, we should now see that it have now changed it from that stuff to sports physiologist, African Sports Creator of the Year, runner up 2025, and all of that. So now once we go to so now once we go to TV, you can see now we don't have this nice hero section. All right. So yep. I hope you guys understood those prompting and step-by-step process of how you can take your project from ideation to implementation for now, because this is still ongoing progress. And I will try to finish up this project and show you guys in our next class on how far we have gone. But I hope you guys understand the process of actually prompting with AI using high quality high quality components from 21st Dev. Trust me, there are a lot more components that you can explore and you can use for your project. Even if you check Mongo DB landing page, you will see that there are some high quality components also that was used. I know I've seen a few of them. Is it MongoDB now, or let me see. Maybe not MongoDB, but I know I've seen some quality components on some websites. Maybe not MongoDB, right? Okay, look, for example, look at this grid right now. It's something that you can actually see the section of this grid from 21st Dev and plug it into your own code base, right? But yeah, this is just one. If you want to go ahead to build the um about section, we can go ahead with this particular about section that we created, that we chose, which is this one. Sorry, which is this one. Then we can just copy the prompts, and tell it to just tell it to build the about section for me and make sure to update the content to fit the Mola Victor, right? So let's just continue this particular I think actually working on making sure that we have run smooth build after adding these components, plus some this and that. Okay, yes, let's confirm this so that we do not have any error, right? So if you want to use any UI, whatever UI you want to make use of, right, just come here. All you need to do is just to copy the prompt. For example, I'm actually changing the hero section to something like this, for example, right? I think I actually also like this, and all you need to do is just to come here, copy the prompt. But don't forget, if you are using Lovable, like that's if you are vibe coding on your website, don't want to use VS Code, you can actually pick Lovable and copy the prompt also. That would work. If you are using Corso IDE, right? You can also just come here and copy the prompt, and you would be good to go. All right. So basically, let's just wait for this to run finish, and we'll just do the about, and we'll be good to go. All right. So text. All right. So giving us the breakdown of the changes of what was done, the body, the placeholder, the image, alt text, and all of that. So let's just go ahead to build for the about, and we will call it a day from there. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. So let's go ahead to spark up our locals again and make sure it's up and running. We can just come back to the localhost and just refresh. Obviously, this is just the starting phase. We can still add framer motion and all of that right there, which we're going to do later on before we actually deploy this project. But let's just run the about, and we'll call it a day from there. All right. Very good. Okay, so Claude is spinning it up. So basically, now that we have this setup up and running, creating those sections with prompting, especially those high quality UIs prompts, trust me, it's going to be very easy. You can see that now we are done with it's done with the it's almost done with the about, right? is adding the UI features, is doing the header copy parameterize, which is adding optional eyebrow and all of that. Basically, those UIs from the component that we created. Also is going to add the missing use effect there by adding feature.length to the depth and all of that. And now you can see it's now writing the feature.tsx. You can see it's adding all of that. You can see basically is after you are done, each section should take 10 minutes to build. But if you are creating this normally, you are doing display flex, you are doing justify content center, spacing between text and all of that. Once you have your format of your like your prompt, your what's it called, your font size, everything that you'll be working with, you will see that everything is going to be good to go, right? So some errors in our terminal running, but Claude is going to actually fix all of that for us. So you can see currently I just want you to join our group. Let's see. All right, very good. So all right, so it's actually wiring up the features currently. We should have, okay, come and see now. See, very good. So you can see we have this about researcher, journalist, and creator. And next phase is going to go to the journalist, say IOF, CAF, identify, and all of that. Obviously, I'm still going to update all of these images and all of that, right? So you'd actually see how sport creator of the year, Claude is even very smart to pick up this image, right? So you can see how obviously this is just the beginning and there is still some little refinement to be done. But you can see that basically once you have your project set up, wiring up the sections and components is going to be something that is easy for you to do. All right. So we're just going to leave Claude to wrap up that and make sure it's finished up, make sure everything is clean. But with that being said, I hope you guys understood what we did today, right? Today we're able to cover quite a lot, right? We're able to cover from, let me just stop sharing my screen. I'm still actually going to complete this and try to deploy and show you guys the final outcome. All right. Yeah, I hope you guys understood what we did today. We talked about how to actually come up with your MDX file by passing it to talking to Claude and telling it to give you a detailed documentation on how to come up for a particular project. And once you have those detailed MDX formats broken down into your interfaces, then I think you will be good to go from there. Then you pass it to your AI editor, tell it to actually scaffold the sections for you. And it's very important for you to do this step by step. All right. And you can see just today that we started this project, we are done. We have a solid structure, um, studied project structure, and also we have actually finished the hero section and the about page in just less than 30 minutes. All right. Trust me, to actually finish the race shouldn't take more than 2 hours, 3 hours. You are done, then we deploy and we're good to go. And I'm going to actually go ahead to continue this project and show you guys how the outcome looks like. All right. So with that being said, I hope you guys understood and learned something at least from this class, if not one or two. You've also seen like different UI components that you can work with and things of that nature. So do we have any question from anyone, or do you have any suggestion, or do you have any question? If you have any question, just give, you can just raise your hand or drop it in the chat. I'm here to answer you. Anyone? Hope you guys learned something today. Let me just ask a quick question from you guys. All right, Blessing, can you share with us what you learned today at least? If what does give us one or two on what you learned today?
Okay, I'm still in awe about everything I saw today. So I'll still have to rewatch the video.
Very
And
good.
honestly, vibe coding is not a child's play. The prompt engineering, it's a lot of work. Yes. And I think it's even more favorable to those who have the pro for Claude
Yes,
because the free version won't go this extra mile.
very true. Very true. You're very correct on that
But
end.
it was quite interesting. It was quite interesting.
All
Like
right.
I'm so amazed. Yeah.
Yes, very good. Like I said earlier on, like if you're not using the pro version in Claude, it might be quite difficult for you to like progress as fast as you should. But $20 would actually do a lot in a month, right? To actually do a lot in a month. But if you're using free version, you can actually still do the same thing, but you might not be able to use Cloud Code. You might be able to come up with the MDX format on the website, but you might just have to be waiting 2 hours, 3 hours before you can go ahead to write the next prompts. But trust me, it's something that is still doable, right? It's just that for free users, it might just take a while. All right. Thank you for sharing, Blessing. Ifeanyi, are you there?
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to grasp it, but I have a kind of a fundamental knowledge of how to do the vibe coding using cloud. So I'll go rewatch the video and get more insights.
All
I
right.
planted.
Very good. Very
So,
good. Mary, are you there? Can you talk now? Because I know you mentioned you are not in a place where you can talk. But if you can talk now, just give a thumbs up. If not, give a thumbs down. So you can move on to the next person.
I can still talk.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, it was a very great class and interesting one indeed. I I'm new to some of the AI tools that you use, and there is a lot to learn though. So I will go back and rewatch the videos, and then I'll grab maybe in the next class. I'll meet up.
All
I'll have to
right.
rewatch the videos.
Very good. Very good. All right. Thanks for sharing. Francis, are you there?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Please go ahead.
Sorry I joined late actually.
Yeah, it's fine.
From the design track, so I just came in
Oh, you
to
just came
just
into.
understand what everything is all about.
All right.
Mm,
That's
Yeah,
fine. That's
thank you.
fine. No
I just
energy
want to
was wasted. So that's fine. All right, very good.
thank
So
you very much.
yeah, so in the next 1 hour before 7:30, the video should be up on YouTube. So you guys can go ahead to watch, right? So with that being said, that will be the end of this class, and I'll see you guys in the next one.